Hi everybody! In this video we are going to have a look at all of the consonant sounds in English. So not the consonant letters but the consonant sounds. And there are 24 consonant sounds in total in English. Let's have a look at them. Here they are all in the consonant chart. This is half of the phonemic chart. And we want to have a quick look at the organization of the chart because this is not just a random collection of sounds. There is some logic behind the chart. So the first thing to remember is that sounds that are on the left of the chart are usually also produced at the front of the mouth. For example, p or all three sounds are produced at the front of the mouth. And then if we have a look at the sounds on the very right-hand side, like g or zh or y, they are produced more towards the back of the mouth. Now let's have a look at all of the sounds in their specific groups. The first group are the plosive sounds, and we have 6 in total. And all of them are in the first row, -2 sounds, and you can see them highlighted here. We have p, b, t, d, k, and g. And remember, plosives are formed because there is a closure somewhere in your vocal tract, formed by your articulators. That could be your lips or your tongue. There's complete closure, and that closure is suddenly released and the air comes out, and we can hear that mini explosion of air, and that is what forms the sound, plus the articulator's position, of course. And so all 6 of those are plosives. Now, but there is something special about all of those sounds, in that, for example, if we have a look at the first 2, p and b, one of them is voiced. That means we use our vocal cords to form the sound. And the other one is voiceless, without the use of vocal cords. Let's just check quickly. We can put our hand very lightly here on our throat. There's no vibration here. The vocal cords are not vibrating. This is a voiceless sound. And b, very clear vibration here from the vocal cords. This is a voiced sound. So in total, you can see that they actually go in pairs. We have 3 pairs of plosive sounds, and for each one is voiced and the other one is voiceless. But the way the articulators move and the closure, the point of closure in your mouth is actually the same with p and b. The only difference is the use of your voice or your vocal cords. So in total, you have 6 plosives, 3 are voiceless, and the other 3 are voiced. Let's have a look at the next group of sounds. Next up, we have a very big group of sounds. You can see they fill up the entire second row, plus another sound in the third row, and these are our fricatives. And in total, we have 9 fricative sounds in English. And fricatives are formed because our articulators, they come close, and indeed they come so close that we can hear the air friction, but there is no full closure. So for example, here, if you have a look again, my top teeth go to my bottom lip. I breathe out and you can hear the air friction, and that is actually what produces the sound. And of course the same for the, and then we have the 2 funny symbols. Those are the TH sounds that we have in English. One is again voiced, the other one is unvoiced, th and the. Then we have s, z, sh, zh. And the very last one doesn't really have a partner. It's in the last final row, in the third row in the middle. That is. And as I said already, these go in the same pairing as the plosives. We have pairs of fricatives in the entire second row. And the first one is always voiceless. For example, And again, you can do your little check here. No vibration, it's a voiceless sound. And then the partner is the. But again, the way they are formed, these two sounds, is the same. So, and the, you can actually see that my top teeth go to my bottom lip. And that is how we produce the sound, but one of them is without the use of the vocal cords. So they go in pairs, the, and you can always do the check here, the two TH sounds, the, s, z, sh, zh. So for the last two, this is very clear. Sh, no vibration, but then zh, clear vibration. And then doesn't have a partner, and as in hello, voiceless. So we have 5 voiceless sounds and 4 voiced sounds in the group of 9 fricatives. So we had a look at the plosives and at the fricatives, and there are some sounds that are actually a combination of the two, and they form their own group. And we skipped over them in the first row. And those two sounds are affricates. Affricates are sounds, they're extra sounds on their own, but they're really a combination of plosives and fricatives together. So we have, for example, the plosive t and the fricative sh, and together they form ch, ch. So we really move from one sound directly to the next. And in the second one, it's d and j, and together they form the sound j, j. That can be quite a difficult sound to pronounce for some speakers, especially if you don't have the sound in your own language. You need a little bit more effort here because your vocal cords are again vibrating in the second one. So just as before, this is a pair, ch, ch. Unvoiced, it's voiceless, no vocal cords vibrate, but d and j together forming j, j, clear vibration from the vocal cords. This is a voiced sound. So those are our only 2 affricate sounds in English. Good, so we've covered already 3 groups. Let's have a look at the next group. This group is in our bottom row, the 3rd row, and it's the first 3 sounds together. And those are all nasal sounds. Now, nasal sounds are special because here the air is not released through the mouth. For example, we had before p or f. Very clearly, if you had a piece of paper, or if you just put your hand in front of you, p, you can feel the air coming out of your mouth. That's not the case, obviously, with because you can see my lips are closed and they stay closed. So the air is not coming out through my mouth. The air is indeed released through my nose. And you could check this by pinching your nose when you say the sound. The sound stops because the air is no longer released. So those 3 are nasal sounds. If you're a little bit confused about that 3rd nasal with the little tail, you think, what's the difference between the first and the second watch my special video on nasal sounds where I'll explain this in detail. Okay, so we've covered plosives, fricatives, affricates, and nasals. Let's have a look at the last group. And of course, sorry, I forgot to say, all our nasals are voiced. Clear vibration, all of them are voiced. And the last group are the approximants, and we have 4 of those in English. So we have l, r, w, y. And approximants are formed again by the articulators. They come close, but not as close as in fricatives, so we cannot really hear air friction. Instead, the air is released through the mouth, and it flows a little bit more freely. So in a way, we could say they're a little bit similar in their production to to vowel sounds. And in fact, sometimes people think, well, why are they not vowel sounds then? And indeed, sometimes people call v and y semi-vowels. But they're not full vowel sounds, and that is because they cannot be the core of a syllable. And again, I have a special video on approximants where I explain that in detail because we call these non-syllabic sounds. It's very technical. Have a look at that video if you want to find out more. So we've got l, r, w, y, and all of them, l, r, w, y, vibration, all of them are voiced sounds. And like I said, w and y are also called semi-vowels or glides because they do sound and behave a little bit like vowel sounds. Okay, so let's do a very quick summary just so that you remember all of the groups within these 24 consonant sounds. Remember, first we had 6 plosive sounds, all of the top row minus the 2 in the middle. We had 9 fricatives, the entire second row plus in the third row. Then we had 2 affricates, ch and j. The fourth group was our nasals. We had 3 nasal sounds. And the last group are the 4 approximants in the final row, the 4 last sounds. In total, there are 24 consonants. 9 consonants are voiceless or unvoiced, and the other 15 are voiced. I hope this has been helpful and explained the consonant chart to you, and I hope that you can remember the names of the different groups of consonants. And if you want to find out more about each group and how they exactly formed and see some example words and the typical spellings, make sure you check out all my other videos on each of these groups.